The multiverse is about to crack into our reality. Are you prepared to fight the monsters that emerge?
GameMasters here, and we are getting closer to the release date of Mordenkainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse. And one of the more terrifying monsters that we have run across is the Astral Dreadnought. This thing can devour anything that it runs across in the astral plane, and being a gargantuan monstrosity, it is large enough to eat even a spelljammer ships. The Astral Dreadnought has a thick layer of spiked plates, and its arms end in magic-enhanced claws, similar to a crab, although these pinchers are roughly 9 feet in length. They have one large central eye and a very long serpentine tail. They also have a very strange stomach, but we'll look at its stomach contents in just a moment. Right now, I want to jump deep into its stat block. The Astral Dreadnought, as mentioned, is a gargantuan monstrosity, has an armor class of 20, 297 hit points, which to me seems a bit low considering it is a challenge rating of 21. It has a strength of 28, a dexterity of 7, constitution is 25, intelligence is 5, wisdom is 14, and its charisma is 18. It has damage resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. It has conditional immunity from being charmed, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, knocked prone, or being stunned. Living in the astral plane, it has dark vision. And as if those stats didn't make it fun enough, it also has some pretty wicked abilities. Anti-magic cone. Its eye creates an area of anti-magic in a 150-foot cone. Blinding it, or when the eye is otherwise closed, can negate this effect. It is an astral entity. This means that it cannot leave the astral plane, and attempts to banish it or otherwise teleport it out simply just won't work. It has legendary resistance. If it fails a save, it can choose to succeed instead. Sever Silver Cord. Okay, we're going to go on a small tangent here. Silver Cord is, well, for those that can cast astral projection, a cleric, warlock, or wizard spell, you can take yourself and up to 8 willing creatures within range and project your astral bodies into the astral plane. When doing that, your soul is able to move through the cosmos and explore, while your physical body is wherever it was when the spell was cast. Tethering your astral self to your physical self is a thin silvery cord that extends from the middle of your back and trails behind you, kind of fading to invisibility after about 1 foot. If the cord is ever cut, your soul and body are separated, killing you instantly. Now, back from the tangent. Sever Silver Cord. Yeah, the Dreadnought can cut your cord if it scores a critical hit, provided you are traveling via astral projection. That's a particularly nasty ability. One ability that it doesn't have, but that you have, is smooshing that like button. It gives me a +1 to the YouTube algorithm for each like, and I thank you kindly for that. The Astral Dreadnought is of an unusual nature, meaning it does not require air, food, drink, or sleep. However, it can decide to eat you. I'm still going to hold off on its stomach contents for a moment, as well as its final ability, as all of that kind of ties in with one of its legendary actions. And we'll get there. It's pretty wicked cool. For actions, it has multi-attack, allowing it to make 1 bite attack and 2 claw attacks. The claw attack does 3d6 plus 9 force damage. Its bite attack will deal 5d10 plus 9 force damage. And here's where the stomach and one of its legendary actions are going to tie in. It can swallow you if you're reduced to 0 hit points. And its ability Demiplanar Donjon will kick in. And you're going to be transported to a demiplane that can only be entered either by a wish spell or by being eaten by this monster, or by its legendary action Donjon Visit. Once there, You will find yourself in a rocky cavern, its stomach, that is roughly 1,000 feet in diameter with a ceiling of about 100 foot high. This demiplane will contain the remains of its past meals, from possibly corpses to Spelljammer ship parts, to anything else that this monster has run across. You cannot damage the Astral Dreadnought from within this demiplane, and the only way to leave is via magic that allows planar travel, or if the Dreadnought dies. In the event that it dies, the demiplane will simply dissolve, and everything that was in that demiplane is going to appear around the Dreadnought's corpse. The cool thing here is, once inside, because of the size of this demiplane, there is also the potential for an adventure inside an Astral Dreadnought stomach. I mean, and DMs, this one is directed right at you. This thing has an unaligned alignment, meaning that it could even strike a deal to have adventurers enter its stomach and help it rid it of something that it has eating that's causing it gastronomical issues. Even though it's technically not its stomach, it's a demiplane. And I'll leave that tethering up to you guys. The Astral Dreadnought also has psychic projection as a legendary action. Each creature within 60 feet of it must make a DC 19 wisdom save, else they will take 4d10 plus 4 psychic damage. With this book due out in just a few days, and with Spelljammer due out later this year, I am seeing all kinds of things connecting them. And personally, I love those little connections that unify all settings. Shucks, even the Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel is going to have many different connections to areas of the multiverse. But we're going to cover that book in future videos. The multiverse is vast and ever-expanding, and if you'd like to see more monsters that can be found within, as well as other observations we've seen with Mordenkainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse, check out this massive playlist here. What are your thoughts on the Astral Dreadnought? How would you incorporate it into your campaign? And players, what would you do if you ever faced one? Let me know in the comments below, and until next our paths cross, may your visit to the Demiplanar Donjon not have a painful entrance.